saw. I swear to you, monna ka ga itse le ko fantisi le beletseng teng even today. And ga medemo a re ga re rekise like right now ga re rekisi. Ga madam a re ga re rekisi ga go rekisiwi. Ke letse ke bua maabane biso ga go rekisiwi broke or no broke ga go rekisiwi. Right? But guys, to cut the long story short, this is business fang sustainability, building future, how ailing your backup investment here. When you go down there, at some point I remember, then I started a strategy when Green Pasture started. I started a strategy I am going to buy the incalved. So I was actually buying, like when you started with the taxi rank basadi bagolo, I knew my market and I started even if the platinum feed, which is your meat supply, your bread bromine, because dinali weight, weight in our industry. Therefore, I started kilo bat. I would go as far as Bodalstrom, Bompumalanga, kilo rekatsedi do some, because why there? Because over there, livestock is very cheaper, guys. I'm giving you a tip. Livestock is very cheaper because there is no demand. The supply is too much. Every single household in a little home. Therefore, coming from the northwest. But how did I know that they are in calves? Remember, Akina Muchini or Testangora Adia. I had a natural skill or talent that I still don't understand where it's coming from, where I was able, I'm teaching you guys, to look at it on the right hip. Kebeke bona highway over here and then mpaya yone nwits. Kinekitso gore ya do that way. And when I get back home, instead I get 4 or 6, ke 12 in the next 3 months.
Hold it right there. Yeah, we're learning. Khunze? Meti. Kiwa meti kada. Meti korada. Khunze ke mang uqadile kae? I know we watched the video, but there's some people that don't know who wena mang utswa kae. It's like he's got like a whole community supporting him, man. It's got a whole community supporting him. So for those of you who don't know Umang Utswakai and why this particular business, especially Kokasi. Yeah, I will check it out. He's so good. 1, 2.
Dumela. First of all, Kopalebo support alone. I feel proud. Khonte ke autia Kokasi, a Holland just like anyone in Mokasi. I'm a Pantsula dancer. I don't leave that behind because of this is what's representing me or Kokai. Kemona because of Bopantsula, because of I talked about discipline. All my pantsolas, wabo harol pantsola, on a little discipline, utlini batuba rata. Wabo. So I was born more Orange Farm and get a history from high school. I attended school local MH from grade 8 until grade 12. I was using a train to go to school, walking to the train station, and when I come back, it's rehearsal time. I go to rehearse, go holong, lemachita. Sometimes I don't get a chance to go rehearse because my grandfather, and like, how not to play because of strict, I only know it's strict usual. How guiding time. So we are guiding near Los Seves. So during school holidays, that's what we used to do, like at the weekend. They abuse from Kohai, but then I can look at grade 11, because of school, Barinka, Barisa Maponya Mole, attended the movie, Kabona, okay, there's entrepreneurship, it's a product, or I can come up with a service that's going to help the community or environment. That's when I created a coal that, how it is. Mosquito, there's going to be less malaria in Africa. With the ash, of the coal, you can use the ash to brush your teeth, to clean the glass, to fertilize the soil again. But unfortunately, I didn't make it at the competition. But then, hakafela mo, ya ba re pantsula liti front we go, back we die. Bravo. So, after matric then, I wanted to start my own business. So I had 1,000 in the saved, it's all star. Because of Spani Haseo cars. Kabona, I business, but then next at Zibricating. Kahuta, one of the good days, German Elemnati, that day, and Nikla Pila Nekhuta Karanhono, Kelapile, Aretsamoitza Gem, Samoitza Vrotoka Gem. Kay utlwa le mna to feta matsatsi a ka o fela le dilemo tse ntse ke hola ntse ke ja. Bravo. After that, ka re why o sa rekise mo shopong because of hae hona le spaza shop ang khona. Bravo. Ka re why o sa rekise mo shopong a wena wa sa iqalele business ka yona. Ai ka nahana re yo re tla ya di robotong hape le majita re lo jive re tshesa ke letsatsi. Eish. Sometimes in feto ga jive re popi chelete shapo. Maraking rekale business ke tlo ba tšhelete it's a business I thought re tšhelete teng e tlo gutla ka speed wa bo ke mo qala go ba le di idea wa bona le batho plus wa bona qala ke kena marketing strateng ke rekisa batho ba ntšhetsa hi idea sharp nga ithengise shop e bile tomato jam ba makala bona ke tla ka di flavor tse unique bo yellow melon wa bo so then that's when I started talking about the information. How do you get into retail stores? What do I need to do? Then the rest is history. Because I was sharing
All right. Let's move. I think one of the challenges, and most of us that are sitting here is rejection. Rejection. Especially when you're getting into a market that you don't know. And most challenging, having people that are close to you but don't see what you see. And don't believe in what you are doing. Because it's not like, entrepreneurship is a new language, especially in our homes. Kamu, how did you deal with rejection? And what advice can you share to our audience on how to deal with rejection?
Yeah. I think for me, how business, what's important is to know why you're getting into business. Are you doing it for money? Or you're doing it because you're passionate about it and you want to make it big and grow. So now, if you are passionate about it and you get rejected, never you be because of sometimes they can reject whatever financial institutions because of you didn't have an offtake agreement, for instance. But are you gonna stop because of rejected because of offtake agreement? It doesn't make sense. So that's what I'm saying. If you are doing it because of you're passionate about it, then rejection, just take it as a learning curve. But if you're doing it for money, or I wanna slay, I wanna buy a car, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons, and that's why when they reject you. So for me, I think when you get into business, what's important also is to do research. Why is it that I'm doing this? Wang understand and question how are you different from the four? Right? So you need to do research. You need to, in you doing research, but check maybe untidy or how you make it look nice. In that way you are able to donor your customers. So for me, it's just all about doing research. Yeah.
And before I move on to Boitumelo, King o e etsang every day that helps you to build your self-confidence, because that's key. How, when the self-confidence is not there, it's difficult for you to even go knock on doors. We do some more the ideas, but what is it that maybe you can share practically to build your self-confidence?
Yeah, competing with myself. That's it, and not competing with anyone.
Compete with yourself.
You compete with yourself. You set goals to say, in the 3 months, who achieve this, 6 months, ke achieve this, 12 months, ke achieve this. You're not racing with anyone, but racing with yourself.
Fantastic. And lastly, I know I'm on this confidence,
Yeah.
confidence. Is there a movie that you watched, a book that you read that changed your life?
Yeah.
But maybe you can share with the audience.
Yeah. So I read I forgot the author, but it's called Casinomics. So nake entrepreneur elong hore
Repeat hape.
Casinomics.
Casinomics.
Yeah. So Casinomics was written by a white guy. I'll check the name and tell you before I leave. That guy, he's white. He understands the Kasi market. In that book, unabwaka how Parmalat made it in the townships, how Parmalat made it kodi koteng, kodi patlong. You know, he said in that book that when they were busy doing research, it's a market for, you know, when they introduced the cheese earlier wrap.
Yes.
I get the paper fella is di sachets, kinda. So Nebabatla is a primary school kinda campaign. So when they drove go Soweto, obona line ya batho ba emi, you know. So what's the guys that he was with to say, ke line ya eni ena, ba mmotsa hore no, ke line ya makonya le dikota re man guys. Why ntse re ya gole? Ke ye market ya rona. So imagine he comes from Sentin, o krea market ya Parmalat ko kasi. You know, so for me, to answer your question, what was the question? I talk too much, I know.
No, the book or a movie.
Yeah, yes, the book, the Casinomics. So that book, I think everyone who wants to start business, you must read it. It's very, very, very informative. You learn a lot. You'll also learn how Faraday. It's in that book. They're not owned by black people. They're owned by white people. I think that makes me go crazy, actually. You know, but what's our content then? But the businesses are runamukasi. Where else runariting? And I understand, you know, one could argue to say, but Arweka access to funding. Start with what you have. When I started selling the Hohokeleka 450, save a hanyane, aremenganyane kadi savani, sure. A weekend you save that money, and then you start your business. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kamu. Boitumelo, rejection.
Yo, guys, rejection as I spoke. In my line of business, where we're doing massive stock, like stock says a rolo, rejection has been there. I actually encountered it, like Akibuaka, young farmers who were doing farming. In my background, it was I think it was a norm or a wanawaka morelo will be doing cattle farming because the father has been a farmer and and it doesn't start from the age Thoma in business, but it starts as far back as when I was about 22, when I really wanted to go back into farming business because that's what my parents did. I would nebang filisa aki ya di auctioning or amaburu atla ko mirakeng ya rona ba mfilisa borre ba bagolo. Dads equivalent, my mom and my dad will be on holiday somewhere and ke first born and we only are 3 girls, so basically ke setsele business, ke setsele other businesses, so ba ne ba mfilisa gore le monyane ana how such cash. And around 22, 23 in our villages, in our rurals around that time, there is nobody Absa Bank and everything. There is no transfers that a white person will actually pay you immediately. So I would find myself at that particular time, kitso regisa dipolwana tsa about 27. And 27 by then, we were looking at around 2.2 surely each one. So basically around that time, ke tshwere bo ma 45, 50,000, ya di 200 fela. But ba iputsisa gore ngwana a le monyane yana, I think I was around this age, a le monyane, and how is she able to hold on that money? And sometimes, like when my dad and mom ha ba yo, ke tla be ke ya Vroego, ke holiday, December holidays, ke ya Vroego ke lo bulela dikgomo ko camping. But isa ga ba yo, cause ba awful. Ke ya di bulela gore di lo full, and then ka 4 o'clock I go back. They know how to return themselves, by the way. So when I was doing that, it was like, I understand that, but I appreciate the fact that later on in life they started making example. And she does this. So I've always been that naughty child that wants to test or matter why. How are we doing this? Why? And rejection for na, it's something that I know. I remember at the age of 17, I ran into my neighbor's yard with a tractor because they could not believe. And my father did not want me to drive because I was a girl. I couldn't understand why those kind of things. But I remember saying to myself, Banyana, they can actually outdo these things. So, and rejectile, and I started quickly, I started then to actually analyze this thing, and I'm sorry if I'm going to be offensive. Then I went and approached the white guys. They were open to me about the information. This is something that is very new. And then I started to understand, the white diamonds, and a lot I actually, like she says, or the book that she read was actually written by a white person that hasn't even lived kokasi. So the very same kind of thing. I learned my skills from, I got whatever that I got from Komaburung, and from then on, I really had to kind of like compromise myself and say, because they've got so much information that but you look at him, the skill that he's acquired, it doesn't only come from the grandmother. It's coming from Tani Mariki that she used to work for in 1940 something. So guys, are lebaleng yana ka dilo tsele tsa go kgetholana somehow, because ke tsone di tswalang the opportunities for us. Let's fix that within us. Ra itse gore ba bang ba bone ga ba re firstane ga ba re utlwisise mara go nna le fela ya ka bone ba re dirisa mo di kitcheneng tsa bona. Le rona we have to take something out of them.
Fantastic, thanks, Butumelo. What is it that you do practically daily that helps you build your confidence?
It's, as much as I'm a Christian, guys, I think I look onto myself, what she said. I am competing with myself. And when you are competing with yourself, there's a very important thing, acceptance. It's a contentment. Acceptance, it fulfills you. Therefore, you're not running short. I remember this year, I had somebody, I was talking about it yesterday, somebody that actually took a huge sum of amount on my account that I know, you know? And I look at it like now, and I'm thinking, hey, and I was like, no, it's okay, man. And they actually did the party and all of those kind of things, and it's all finished. Because Albani prayed. Know your worth. Know control yourself. Control your situation. I think I lost around 800,000 that I know where it went. And I slept. Karobala. No. I slept. And here I am. Guys, I'll tell you why. There's a secret to it.
O mongwe ba mo kolota 20 ranta ke neng a so robale. 800,000.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, like I took myself and then I took my other self over here. And I go like, Maragel, you know your purpose in life. How to chicken you again? Albani, you buy it on Sunday. Guys, was they fedile? Guys, that's the scare. That's the thing about it. But no, how we say about Romang? Are we bonimo, we bonara? Where they don't even see it. Do you understand? And you move on, because if I was stuck on it, mental institution, and it healed so much in me, and it built so much confidence that I had to learn, or Bitumelo Kimang. Bitumelo has got so much peace, with or without. But Bitumelo basically is a hard worker. Take it senyani. When you're facing such hurdles or challenges, know that what is coming to you is greater, or even 10 times. I'll tell you as we proceed.
Hey, we nahana. 800, tori. Khunzi,
Awe,
on brag.
awe.
Sure. Rejection. How did you deal with it, man?
Yo, rejection.
And I'm sure you still face it. Sorry to interject. You still face
Yeah,
it even today. It's not like, no, how solely rejection I saw Leo.
Yo,
How are you
rejection is
dealing with
healthy.
it every single day?
Okay, sometimes wabo, when you go out to the market,
Just wait. Ramu tlo komrao. His mic. You can hear him?
oh,
Okay. Sure.
wabo, sometimes when you go out to the market, wabo, mokasi bantseba, but then when I go out, wabo, you have to introduce people to these new like flavors. Others, they don't believe you are into the product, especially the tomato jam. Or I wanna know, this past, since from Thursday until Sunday, we were selling Koval Mall. And every day, nechuta tamati jam is sold out. But then, the challenges already meet them, but to like, bamakala, tomato jam, then facial expression ya change wabo, until I to taste that jam like I enjoy, because of like the tamati jam they were sold out, and again the rejections already told and get at the retail stores again wabo, because it's not simple to get into a retail store. First of all, they will tell you your product needs to be tested, you need to have barcodes. I have those things, but still, you get rejection. Because of what? They will come and say, the facility needs to meet the standards, it's healthy. There's a lot of things in order to get into retail. So, like the challenges they are reject in order for us or and again, the government institutions, some of them, like, it's not simple. I want to forward to coffee about the grant. Yeah, now on my side, I might say, not the achieve, but then, when they've got their own stories to tell, or the rejection going there. But not to klechong, where not about the passion, have faith in yourself, or when you go there, bonahala o motho wa business o a bona la o fihla wa bo ka ska ke tshilo re ke di apara ditikis. Yeah, there's some events it's loreng ha ke di attend, I don't wear those stuff because I need to be representable. Sometimes you might say they reject you, but then it's the way when o appear ang o le ka teng wa bo, so then they will reject you in that way.
Hey, now come on. Time. I think we just need a day. Just half a day, because I think there's still so much that you'd like to share with the audience, and there's still questions that they would like to ask. But because of time, we have to just close it. So, from your side, Kamu, briefly, a minute, just parting words to the entrepreneurs in the room.
Yeah. I think for me, my advice to young people is, in whatever that you want to do, just start.
Just start.
Mamela basatlo way, did you hear what he said? They rejected him because of obviously kile pantula utswa ko kasi ki jam ya ko ka yena ai nang ka sije. Just do it. But to high qala leona, Theo had a lot of challenges. Likau ha qala drip lena, he had a lot of challenges. DJ Spoo ha qala mofa, he had a lot of challenges. We still have a lot of challenges. So now my advice to young people, remember, it's passion, it's love, and just start.
Passion,
simple
love,
as
and
that.
just starting. Thank you so much, Kamu. Boitumelo, parting words to the entrepreneurs in the room.
Guys, I'm just going to tap a little bit again onto rejection. With me, my story is different. With the majority, the story is I was rejected when I was looking for funding, when I wanted to put my stuff on the shelf. Mine is vice versa. Then I get Pick and Pay wanting me to supply meat. Yeah, the hindquarters, all portions, full quarters and whatnot, right? But now Pick and Pay comes to, this, and this is very important, note it down, it's a takeaway. Don't undersell yourself just because you're associating with a brand. I love what Kamo said. She knew her market, therefore there was no need for the retailers because already the consumers are saying, payday. Pick and Pay comes. Pick and Pay tells me how much.
I hate that.
You know what I'm talking about.
They must
Pick and
buy
Pay
from
tells myself, a whole me. Horiona, inya kompabukai per kilogram.
Yeah, that's what they do.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
now they tell
They
you.
hunted me down. They found me. Now they tell me.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And I think, can I just say something? And that touches my heart so much. And I think that's why I decided to open a shop. Okokas. When you go to big retails,
Yeah.
and then they say, if you're giving us a loaf ka 30 cents, go na le motho o mongwe o re fang ka 20 cents.
Yeah.
But because as, and I'm gonna say this, as black entrepreneurs, motho ha qala kena ko you know, the business. Oh, I supply Woolies. Oh, I supply
Thank
Pick
you.
and Pay. But the
Amen.
question is, are you making money or they squeezing your
Are
money?
you in business or you're not in business? You know why? Hona le ntho e nngwe e re etsang, re le bokamo, re le botum. Now you'll see me go farmers what. When I
Farmers
think about
market.
it all, yeah.
Markets.
What you call them? Our articles, Body Farmers Weekly,
weekly,
Body
yes.
Farmers. And you'll see me once in a while. Because we are being programmed over here. Hori, if ke tlhahella ko Twitter or ke trender ko farmers ke tshwere front page I'm making it. The question is, are you making money now?
Yes.
Nah, I'm in it for the money and the passion. So then I said to them, guys, number one, you look at the feeds, the medication to keep them running and everything. And if somebody is telling you now, COVID, where the demand is very high, everybody is not even operating, is telling you what they want to give you 27 ranta per kilogram. What are they saying?
Doesn't make sense.
What are they saying? If you know very well, guys, do you know that nama eri jang ko kai ko mang chisa nyama
Second grade.
second grade ew. Do you know how much per kilogram are we paying? We're probably paying 105 kilograms, surely maybe 120. But because it's a mali savannah reborn. Guys, let's do our homework. Let's not take Ntwengulengwe just because it has branding behind it. You are actually working. You are working for that person. And when now on articles, then you are supplying Pick and Pay. Go and supply your people. Your market is everybody that's sitting next to you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Khunzi, just last parting words from you to the community, to the entrepreneurs.
La uta also ring or like the challenges that they meeting in order to get to Pick and Pay. So at least now somebody said it or like some strategy, but Lompota, Pick and Pay. We are going there. But then the support I need is from you guys to stock and resell. That's the market now. Wow. It's to stock and resell. Wow. Because right now, guys, I'm trying to create employment democracy. Wow. There's people who are talk about whole, but why don't we get people who are stock? you will get the product take a stock price, and when selling our price it also really too, you will gain profit, and in that way, it will make the brand hola. We're going to need to go gardening, batlo jalang, our raw products. Yesterday when I was listening, they were talking about the value chain. Now more value chaining you. Wabo, oka sebetsa ko garden, oka rekisa jam, oka manufacturer at our facility, wabo. So now we will be able to meet the demand eloring kasi batota horona bato reka from rona, because re to kgona ho reka equipment, we're going to fix our facility with the amount that we've just won. So we just want to see the kasi growing, the kasi economy, and all the local tuck shops having the local brand in the stores. Thank you, Kasi.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Are we done?
We've come to the end of our panel discussion. One more time, Kopara Chapeleng Boitumelo, Modisani from Green Pasture Legacy. A round of applause.
Thank you.
Kamu, Bombay from Bombay Group, Kopara Chapeleng Maso. A round of applause for Kamu.
Yeah.
And a round of applause for Khunse from All Day Jam. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for our panel discussion. You can see this guy is an entrepreneur. He makes sure this is All Day Jam, All Day Jam, All Day Jam. DJ. Yeah, no, I'll jive. He's a local. He's one of us. He's one of you. He's in the community. Very quickly, because of time. I know people are sitting here. You spoke about stock price, and I know you're an entrepreneur. You have to rush. You've got meetings to go to. See the details out very quickly. How can people get the gem from you? Sure.
Okay, my details, you can WhatsApp me on the business WhatsApp 062 668 062 668 6502. Le shapo ka di number ke bitse email address
Repeat that.
062 668 6502.
One more
Then
time.
062 668 6502. Then on our social media platforms, Instagram, alldaygem_SA, TikTok, alldaygem_SA, Instagram, Twitter, @alldaygem, Facebook, alldaygem. Then email address, alldaygem19@gmail.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, please. A round of applause for All Day Jam.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's move right along. Can I please have your attention? Kopa attention, Yalona. All right. Powerful, ne? Yeah, we're still together. We're still together. All right, next up we are speaking about enterprise supplier development. Kinto ba bitsang di ESD. Enterprise supplier development. We've got a panel discussion. Lebatla mama, lebatla utlwa, because you know entrepreneurs like Khunze and Kamu and other entrepreneurs, Nababua ka di SEDA and who funded them. So there are companies that take in entrepreneurs and then they coach you. They train you on different parts of your businesses for 12 months for mahala. Aupatali, mahala. That's the information that we want. Okay. How do we get into these programs? Okay. Where do we find this information? So you want to listen to this panel discussion. We've got Mr. Tumsani Mkoza, Utako ABSA, Chief Operating Officer, Corporate Funds Manager, ABSA Corporate and Investment Banking. Sir, are you here? He is here. As he comes onto stage, Mr. Tumsani Mkoza. Thank you, sir. Any seat. I think you must take the middle seat because that's the money seat. Next up, coming on stage, we've got Mr. Kamokhelo Mampane, Chairman, Supply Chain Council, TK Global Experts. He's already on stage. Please just give him a round of applause. All right, lastly, we've got Mpo, Group Enterprise and Supply Development Manager, Sun International. Mpo, thank you so much, my brother. Welcome onto stage. Mpo Mushutle.
Called me wrong. Kamokhelo Liteko.
No, not for this panel. I've only got 3 for this panel.
No.
Two.
Oh, no. Zez says you.
Listen, wait. Sorry.
No, just like
I can hear.
No, my brother, you're not forcing yourself. You're on the program. Apologies, I've got the other program. There's an updated program. The gentleman on the right, Libitsola Haeke Kamokhelo Liteko, he's a deal maker. So hopefully he'll share with us deals, how they put together these deals. Also from IDC. And yeah, let's begin with the panel discussion. Let's get straight into it. We'll start with Mr. Tumsani Mkoza from ABSA. We're speaking about enterprise supply development, ESD. It's the big word now. For people who are in the audience who don't know, what is it and how do they get involved as entrepreneurs? Please, can you share with us, sir?
MC, thank you everyone. Today, and I've received such a warm welcome. And also, I like the interest that you as entrepreneurs are showing today. When it comes to Imali, I know it's an emotive subject. And at Tina, as banks, sometimes we don't get a good...
Please, sorry, sir.
Am I soft?
No, yeah, the voice, but also at the back, please can we just keep it down so that we can hear. Can we get your volume up? Is it the voice or is it the mic? The voice. All right, if you can just put it a bit closer.
But it's in base, mas anisa.
Okay. All right, thank
Okay.
you. Thank you, so continue.
All right. Yeah. So utumsane mkhonza ne se bang introduce ngisenza la pay ups. Bengifuna ukuthi, you know, the problem sometimes is from the outside. There's a customer of ABSA or a small business. Bengifuna ukuboleka imali, you always think, say, our banks are strict. We're not going to get help. But I think I'm here to say that that has changed, or, you know, it has actually, it's just about information and knowing how to position your business. Our banks have a responsibility to support our communities. And at ABSA, we've been very creative with our solutions to support small businesses. Because I understand that from where you are coming from, you also want to help your community, you want to help yourself, you want to help your brothers and sisters. So, you know, the more that you can succeed, the more the bank can also succeed. So we are vested in your success. I know it doesn't always come out like that at times. So the corporate South Africa has an obligation to put together their own funds, and they set them aside, and they have to help small businesses. It's actually under the BBBE scorecard. So the other thing, if you kumbula, because we've gone through COVID, and then people are starting to realize we cannot leave our communities alone. So if you mean I office lam is a sentin, I can't sit lapang aircon, and whilst, you know, people in my community are not prospering, are not progressing. So I think I'm here to try and dismiss the idea that we are not helping as banks. And for ABSA specifically, I'm here to give you some tips on how you can think about positioning your business for success. So, our corporates have to set aside some funding. So actually, funding is no longer an issue, MC. If funding is corner, guys, it's just that it needs to go to the right places. Nobody wants to just give you money and not see what the impact of that money is. So, rejection, and I liked the story that was said earlier, you need to continue and be busy at work. Don't wait for the funding. The opportunities must find you working. You know, don't wait for it. But the pace is there. So the other thing sometimes is my understanding of my bank. So if you think about it, bank it's still getting it from us. As if you put in your savings at bank, you want to know that those savings are safe. So if your bank must on lend to somebody else, they need to make sure there's a greater chance so you must know you have an obligation to pay back. So a bank, of course, is going to apply that lens to make sure what you are going to afford. But our corporates have created these funds to support us as small businesses. All you need to do is to figure out, is my business ready to grab attention of the corporate? The corporates are out there, they are looking, they want to fund businesses, they want to see your impact to your community, they want to see how you're going to grow, they want to see, before they put their money in, is what they refer to as a social return, because it's not, you know, the money that is available to support you is actually, we call it soft loan. So imagine uboleki mali and you don't get charged interest. So that is possible, guys. 0% interest.
So if I may, so that we don't miss the point.
Yes.
What sort of businesses is ABSA looking for?
Okay, so any type of business that has potential to succeed and to grow can qualify for a funding. But MC, I want to talk about, actually, I'm coming here representing ABSA, but I'm also representing our corporate clients. So I'm a corporate lad, they are also our clients as ABSA. And I'm saying that this has been now quite a nice pot of funds that are sitting there and waiting to finance. And that's where you have the ability to borrow at 0%, which is unheard of for financial services. But the corporates can do it. So, but what is important is the business case. But what we're saying at Alama loans, if we, because they don't even, sometimes they don't even attract security. You don't have to put security down. So we call them soft loans. But guys, soft loans does not equate to soft life. You know, we have challenges. If you think about sometimes people that borrow money, you tell your financier or e-bank, no, and then when you get it, you use it for something else. You know, maybe, you know, so in a million, it's easy to say, okay, no, you know, maybe I must buy myself a nice car or go on a holiday. I'm not saying everybody does that. I'm just painting the extreme of it. But the money comes to you in a very soft nature to assist you to succeed as a business, and those funds are there. What do you need? You need to prepare yourself for the financiers to understand, okay, what is the product or service that you have? How are you adding value to your community? How are you making money? And can you pay back the loan? And if you can't do that, the chances of success are very high. And I mean, MC, let me stop there, but we'll get into it. And I'm sure my colleagues, Bazo Kuluma, from their perspective as well. But I don't actually think funding is an issue these days, or access to finance. I think the issue is in my can't. Guys, do we have something that is of value that we can give to the community?
Thank you, sir. Mpo Mushutle, Group Enterprise and Supply Development Manager, Sun International. What is ESD, my man? What is ESD? I just know, yeah, there's ESD, there's money that's from corporate. What is ESD, and how does our community and our people get in?
So ESD for Sun International and for myself, I see.
Can you just put them, which mic, sorry. Which? Yeah, please just put it a bit closer.
Okay.
Thanks, bro.
So ESD for me is an opportunity for an organization like Sun International to really try and impact the lives of the communities which we operate within. We have quite a diverse portfolio of organizations all across the country, from Sun City to Maslow to Grand West. We operate in just about every province that, all of the provinces barring one. And obviously our operations impact those people's lives, so we want to make sure that we can impact their lives in a positive manner. So ESD is one of the mechanisms to be able to do that. We want to look at what the local communities are doing in terms of their businesses, what potential there is for them to come and enter our supply chain and potentially sell to us, and also be developed to get to a point where they can compete with some of the bigger guys, and to also be given these opportunities. A lot of the time, us as corporates, we like to stick to the status quo, in that it's far easier to deal with, a very large entity. I'll say, for instance, for the lack of a better company, like a Bidvest, right? They've got a lot of these items that we're looking for. They've got all the food, they've got the packaging, they make life easy for you. So as people in this procurement space and in large corporates, you tend to want to focus more on what's easier for you. But I think what we tend to forget is that then you block opportunities for the smaller guys, to really enter the economy. And I mean, these companies are already established, they're already massive, but there's all these people in the room here who also deserve an opportunity, who have a dream, and whose dreams are valid. So I think that's the beauty of ESD, in that it creates these opportunities for each and everybody in this room and outside to really change their lives and impact the lives of others.
Great, so you've got an ESD program.
Correct.
That you're running.
Yes.
Now I'm sitting here, you do see more, and I'm thinking to myself, ngena kanjani lapha?
Yeah.
Like, how do I get in? How do I get involved? What are your requirements? What is it that you're looking for? So entrepreneurs have something to think about? You know, because we speak about preparation and then they're like, but re prepare eng? What is it that we must have? What is it that you look for in an entrepreneur before they come into your program?
So typically we look for some sort of a business plan. Or business proposal. We want to see that you have a way forward for your business. You've assessed your market. You have an understanding of it. You've looked at who your possible clients could be. Maybe you've already engaged some of those clients to say, hey, if I can get funding for this thing, will you buy from me? So if you could get an offtake agreement of sorts. You've looked at how much, how do I put it, how much it costs to run your business, what are the costs associated with that. But in terms of really getting into our program in particular, so we've just revamped our website on the Sun International website. You can go there under the procurement page. There is a section for enterprise and supply development. You can apply for funding or to receive business skills or business development support. So typically you go on there, you'd see there's a whole bunch of questions that we ask. We want to, and a few things that we'd like for you to attach, company profile, business plan, what are your financial projections, are you under some sort of debt review sometimes, but we also want to know what are you going to use the funds for, or what do you want the skill support for. So we're very flexible in the way that we approach ESD. We're open to startups as well. We're open to existing businesses. We're willing to walk the journey with a supplier at whichever state or state of their progression they're in. But we just need to be able to have some form of documentation that shows us that you have an idea of what you're trying to do. Then it's our job to look at how we can help you and how we can look for opportunities to fit you into our supply chain. Lastly, I think another nice thing about the way we operate is that we try to partner with other organizations, as my colleague here has said. We engage the likes of EBSA, we engage the likes of the Impact Group and a lot of our other clients to say, okay, if you are in this room here and you produce or provide a service that we don't necessarily require, it doesn't necessarily mean that we just dismiss you. We know a lot of people in this industry that we can say, hey, you know what, here's a guy who wants to do this. I think it will work in the supply chain for EBSA or for whichever organization. Yeah.
All right, so like Sun International, under Sun International, where there's procurement, you go there, and then it will show you what is it that they need from you. Because sometimes you sit there and you're like, but why the companies and why was I? So they go to your Sun International, they go to database. So if you're not on their database, then you can't supply them. So you need to get onto that database. You need to be part of these programs that they're running. All right. Next up, we'll hear from Mr. Kamogelo, Mampane, Chairman, Supply Chain Council, TK Global Expert. Sir, over to you. What is ESD opportunities that you've seen there for entrepreneurs to be part of programs that can empower them to get access to market and to make money?
Thanks, Chair. I'll explain a little bit. So let's unravel this thing that is called ESD. Now, there's two things in ESD. It's called ED and SD, right? So, and by the way, I've just Googled, I just went to Google. Hey, it's very helpful, this thing, right? And I typed enterprise. You can do it on your phone. As part of education, you'll thank me after. I see many people are not doing it. Just go to Google, type enterprise and supplier development. Now, there's few things that comes, right? There's all of those people that are paying for ads. So just ignore those ones. Now, the first company that comes is Accenture. Advertising, enterprise and supplier development program. Now, how many of us here are suppliers of services? Just by show of hands, services. All right. Accenture is looking for you. Go to Accenture, register yourself on database. Next one. The next company, it's Saika, also services. Right? Has anyone been involved with Saika? SAICA, South African Institute of Accountant, of Chartered Accountant. Okay, anyone here who has done some little bit of schooling on finance? Finance. You've done. Go out and register yourself to SAICA. The next one, Exaro. Do we know Exaro? One of the biggest mines we have, especially in the coal industry. Right? Anyone who's any manufacturer or a supplier of products that the mines can use? You, okay. Please, when I leave here, I need your profile. Who else? Okay, I need your profile as well. But go to Exaro, it's here, right? Exaro is advertising, Sasol is advertising their ESD program. Now, what is an ESD program? So, if you are not a supplier yet, you will be put on what is called an ED program. You are an enterprise, right? You are not a supplier as yet. Now, the power you have, supported by the Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment Act and the Codes of Good Practice, says that this company is here today, right? They must spend 1% and 2% of net profit after tax on you. Now, you've heard in Dadam Konza how he's made the commitment on how ABSA is doing. You've heard as well from Sun International. So every single company, so if you have any companies that are operating near you, you can knock on their doors and say, can I see your 2+1? That should be the new language, the 2+1. Can we see it? Where is it and where are you spending it? Because they are very proud, right? If you read their financials, they talk about this thing. This is how we spend our 1% net profit after tax. This is how we spend the 2%. Now you'll be put on the E. Once you are a supplier, so even when you are not a supplier, there is a commitment that companies, generic companies that are spending 50 million and above, must spend on ED enterprises, which is all of us. Then I agree with them more. So we must spend on all of us. Then if you are a supplier, then there's additional support, as they've explained, right, that they can provide. But I want to talk about, because I also represent the Supply Chain Council, and this for me is very, very important. Those that are doing work for government, how many of us here have put a tender and submitted a tender to government institutions, state-owned companies, or municipalities? I'm sure we must be a minimum. It can't be just two. Has anyone ever, okay, let me raise the question differently. Has anyone ever filled a tender? You've never filled a tender document? You have? Mara khaliki bone matsogo.
Guys, it's fine. Like, there's no, like, people who've got cameras who are watching already tendered winner. If we filled in a tender document, whether it was successful or not.
Okay.
I see hands this side. You see there's more hands, more hands.
All right.
This is to help you. This is more hands at the back. Great.
And Dadam Konza and we must commit to do a program on how to complete a tender document. As supply chain professionals, we see a lot of tenders coming in, but we reject about 90% of those tenders because of one thing, compliance. And you heard Kamu was also speaking, right? You heard Kamu also speaking about compliance and the other entrepreneurs that were here. It's extremely, so procurement people, they don't even look at your tender because the first thing they say, did you comply? There's a tick here that you're supposed to do. If you do not, you get disqualified. So we have to educate ourselves on how do we get onto the other side. There's building blocks that are built, regulatory so, right? To say that before they even open your tender, you must pass all of these things. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with a tender. Be proud. When I ran my first business, when I left the corporate, I applied for a tender at National Treasury and I was awarded, and it saved my family. Now, it saved my family from hunger. So there's nothing wrong with a tender. By the way, do you know that ABSA also tenders for jobs at government? I got them. Yeah. So most of the listed companies, they also tender. So there's nothing wrong with the word tender. Be proud to say government is at least giving us an opportunity. So this saying the myth that says, no, black people are tenderpreneurs, even the companies that are listed there, go JSE, right? They also got a tender. So be very proud about it. So let's use that system. Let's learn it and make sure that at least, the decision makers on the other side, we make them very difficult to give a tender to a non-African company. Now, second issue, and this is where I'm asking, because as a collective, Section 217 of our Constitution says that when government procures, right, they must procure equitably, transparency, cost effectiveness, and all those nice things. But Section 2 of it says they must set aside certain businesses to categories of people that are disadvantaged, right? They must set aside. Now, today in South Africa, we do not have, okay, by the way, let me put the question this way. Do we all believe that there's a law today in the country that says 30% must be set aside to black-owned companies? Anyone who knows about that? You know about it? Okay, I'm going to share some sad news. That law is dead. There is no longer a law in the country that says 30% must be set aside to black-owned companies. Nothing, zero. There's nothing. So black men, you are on your own. Now, you heard the entrepreneurs, what they said. They've studied, they've perfected their art in running business. Because unfortunately, there is no law in this country that says if there's a tender from China and a tender from Soweto, a tender from Alexander will support a company from There's no such rule. There's a procurement bill that's coming. And maybe it's the second thing that we must do. There's a procurement bill that is coming that is trying to fix all of this mess that we find ourselves in. Now, I beg you that in your numbers, because black people, you have numbers, but we don't have the mullahs. But the numbers are access to the mullahs. But unfortunately, when government ask and say, they put out the regulation, how many of us read and comment and say, this is what we want to see in our regulations? Right? Very, very few, right? We supported National Treasury to write this procurement bill, to collate comments, right, from the public. The numbers of people that made comments comes from the other side, not here, right? The people of the soil, we are not making any comments about the rules that we want to see for ourselves, to benefit ourselves. So next year, please be very vigilant. And I'm hoping that we can create another colloquium like this, where we really assist people of the soil to make rules for yourself. That says, if there's a company from China that is bidding for the project, there's a South African company that is bidding, we must consider the black-owned company or the SMME in the country. But there's nothing, absolutely nothing. So we must write that rule ourselves because unfortunately, we do not have, we used to have it, right? Remember the 30%? It's no longer, it's dead, it's gone. Because Agri-Business, right? And you know who they are. Agri-Business took it to court and said, we don't want these rules. So the corporates that are here today, Sun International and Absa, and of course, Ndate Dealmaker, my name, Kamo. They are doing this thing because they understand that it's the right thing to do. And yes, we agree, it is the right thing to do. There is no economy that is going to be sustainable if the majority are not participating in the mainstream. We had entrepreneurs that are saying they are still sitting in the informal sector, right? Because we do not participate in the formal sector, right? If you look at the stats of how many tenders are awarded, by the way, it's free data. It's there on National Treasury, right? You go and look these tenders, how many people, you'll see that it's still the same picture that we had, right? Got the 80s. It has changed very, very little to what it is today. And it's because what the entrepreneurs, I want to emphasize what the two gentlemen have said here, that perfect your art in terms of the business that you are running. And we are also willing, as a supply chain council, working together with our partners, to come and show you how to win tenders. Because there's nothing wrong. It's a system that is there that we must use to our benefit. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Next up on the far right, Kikamogelo Liteko, a deal maker from the IDC. Now, I know when I mention the word deal, already people are thinking of Chita, oh, okay, there's something, Yana. But we want to help the people who are in the audience today. I'm sure you do quite a lot of investing into companies. You work with numbers. So if I'm sitting here as a young entrepreneur, cash flow, finance, massive, it's big. I mean, even when you go to ABSA, they want your track record, right? They want to see how you're performing. Kamogelo, what are some of the things that you look out for as deal makers if you want to invest in entrepreneurs? What should the audience look out for?
Dumelang. Lekai. Kiting. Hey, Bokamogelo, it's the battle of the Camus, I think. What do companies look for? I'm going to make sure we can all hear, ne? So that we can all at least, when we leave here, be able to go and do something. So what is a deal maker? Let's start there. What is a deal maker? It sounds like something, it's just here. So what I do is that I'm in the space here to take a company and facilitate them making sure they get financing. So that is the space that is what a deal maker starts. So they take Rona and everybody as an entrepreneur, and we look at their business and we take them to be able to be funded and commercialize and make a company big. That's what a deal maker does. So in essence, it's the process from being able to go with the application and being a commercial business. So that's the space in which Englalang goes. So what is it that we look for? And it was something that people have been saying, but essentially what we look for is we want to back umuntu, the person, the entrepreneur first. The first thing is a few elements. I'll mention a few. And I'm glad someone said a line that I'm not going to be the one who says that. There is a lot of opportunities. And opportunity ngata, but how do we make sure that you are there? So the first thing is we back the jockey. And the jockey, I back an entrepreneur, the person who is the entrepreneur. And coming after a few entrepreneurs, Bob Wheeling, I think you'll be able to understand when we say we're looking for an entrepreneur, we're looking for what? A person who's able to innovate and create a product or something to be able to sell to a market. And then, so one is the work ethic, and Mutorum Matlang is an entrepreneur. Not someone who's looking for a quick buck. I think we're living in a time when body Instagram and all these things have depolated our minds to think that we're just doing this to get a quick buck. It's not that. We are building an entrepreneur and you're getting into an economy. So, you'll get it. But be an entrepreneur. So be able to work your product every day to be a product that is the best in whatever you are doing. If you rekisa a jam, it must be the best jam in the world. How are you waking up every day to make sure it's the best product that everybody can look for? So it's one, the entrepreneur, and so that you're looking for. Then afterwards, we'll come to things like, do you comply with what you are doing? So I always say, it's easy to create something. Right now and go create juice. And create a juice, right? But can I be able to sell that thing and get money and generate value in a business? So can I sell it to somebody? That is the second thing. Can you sell it to a market? And there are a lot of opportunities on how to get to that. And then the third thing is that we look to see whether you are in the right funding gap. So what I find a lot is that you find someone in a startup phase. So, today, can I idea, hey, I'm gonna create this business to service this. And then right there and there, I write a 5-pager, then I go to Land Bank or APSA or some big institution without having gone through the different development stages that come with getting your business ready. So there are a lot of those. One was enterprise development, the development elements of it. So to develop you to be funding ready. So you get a lot of the institutions that do that, right? Like a CEDA that offers you a lot of services, registering your program, your companies, everything from CSD, all those compliance stuff, tax, VAT, and to be honest, those things are very easy. You can do that in 1 week. Right now, the government has done so much work to make sure in 1 week you can get a lot of compliance, and I give it up to the government on that. And then after that, you can then, you go to BOSIDA, all these development institutions, NYDA, for young people, because I was asked about young people. And you kind of ask them to help you to be business ready. How can I get whatever I'm developing, say 10, and by some time be able to sell to 1 million people? They will take you to 1,000 people. Then from 1,000 people, you can then go to bigger funding institutions like APSA Small Business. And for me, grants are there. If you can do a business without thinking about grant, you will do yourself much more justice. And the grants are gonna follow you. All these patient money are gonna follow you. And what I find is that, but to come, grant. No, you don't want that. You want to fund your business to be the best business. If you go with that mentality, the grants will latel. Because we're gonna see that you're successful, but you're lacking equity. Then equity is making sure you don't have too much debt. Then they put in the soft money where it's assured you are funding ready. So focus on making sure you've got a business and you are running that business. And I know what hard. Like I'm in business and I'm in this space as well. I know it can be very difficult. Just be persistent and knock on doors to make sure you're that. So make sure you are funding, you are applying at the right places at the right stage of your business. Because big institutions, and I'll use APSA because it's easier to come here, also ready, and they're gonna reject you. They're gonna reject you because you are not ready. The 90% of Buakayon are people coming fella because Utsuile fella today decide to apply without going through the motion and the stages. And then that's gonna make you obey in a stage of this business thing does not work. Well, you don't wanna go through the motions of it. Last thing, invest in yourself. Read, find out, ask questions. I see so many people spending time on social media with the same data you could be spending on Google and a lot of things that you could read. If you can focus on investing in knowledge, information is thing, but the problem is that information is all over the place. Read, make sure you are knowledgeable about what you are doing and the industry you're getting in, and you will be funding ready. Then the rest will come into place. And then I promise you, you'll be successful, and we'll take you to commercial stage, and hopefully we'll be back in your business very soon.
Thanks so much, Kamu. Before we move on to the next question, Sabata. Sabata what thing? Huh? Or Sabamutut? Okay, Bamutut. All right, let's move right along. Yeah, time is not on our side. So, Mr. Mkonza, you have people that come to you. I mean, maybe you'll have some of them now that come after the session, and they say to you, we want to be part of the ESD program. We're running a service or we're in manufacturing. What is it that you're looking for in order for them to get inside the program? What are some of the challenges that you've seen, and why do you reject other entrepreneurs and give other entrepreneurs a chance?
MC. So, yeah, to answer your question, I think I just want to relate maybe a personal story. I think, you know, when you are job hunting, let's say you finish school or you finish your training and then you're job hunting, you're obviously going to put your CV together. You're going to put your skills and what you think you can provide to the entity that you're applying for a job for. And then you have to impress your interviewers. But interviewers are also smart. They can see if you are overselling yourself or you mean business. And in fact, when I got my job at ABSA, this is now 18 years ago, so you can see my blood is red. I felt that in the interview, I was telling them who I am. So I was telling them my strengths, and I was also telling them where I can develop further. And they liked that. They liked the honesty that comes with it. So Okamuhela on my right here mentioned the fact that, as an entrepreneur, we want to see the jockey, who is the jockey and do they know what you are about. And I think that's very key into this, because if already there's a sense of resilience, there's a sense of belief in your business case, and you are able to articulate that in your CV, and you are able to speak it, then the opportunities will come flying. So any investors or any lenders or anybody that's going to give you a business opportunity has to have some sort of comfort about who are you, what is the value that you bring. He's already said, invest in that knowledge, because sometimes you might be doing wonderful work for your community or your customers, but you haven't been able to narrate it or package it. So that's very important, guys, because then the opportunities come. So normally that gets reflected either in a, I look at a CV as a business plan for a business. So in your business plan, you need to put all of those things together. Then you're already a candidate. And then the other thing that is critical is understanding from me, who's got a purse and I want to put money onto this thing. Can you actually generate income, revenue? Can you pay your expenses? And can you save? Is there money that's there for a rainy day? So yes, that's difficult when you're starting out, because sometimes there are things that you are not sure about, but you can go on and prove yourself, and then suddenly you attract this kind of funding. So you're gonna have to give, the requirement will be, you'll have to show somebody who's interested in funding your business around your projection, like how you're gonna make money from the money that you're asking for. And then I joked earlier about the loans being soft from an enterprise and supplier development perspective. They are, but there's always going to be a concern whether you're going to use the money effectively and for the purpose. So you need to then also articulate that, Mafara with business plan, you must be able to say, so, and this is the impact that it will have in my business, and this is how I'm going to generate the income. And then lastly, MC, what corporates are looking for and the banks is, again, being truthful about your current position, because there's already appreciation, guys, would say, okay, if you're coming from a disadvantaged background, let's say you've tried this business thing, it didn't work, but at some stage you had some people that you are owing, and then you are struggling now to pay them because, given the COVID, you didn't get any income, so you were not able to pay them. So back still, Lego Credit Bureau, and your credit record is not looking great. Don't go now and hide that fact and not declare it. No, guys, I had this problem for the last 2-3 years, because actually there's a trust component that you as an individual entrepreneur that you want to bring across with your potential investor or lender. So if you say then the application, okay guys, I did have this problem, but look, I didn't go and dodge my creditors, because people can see good, okay, but you've been making money there, but you decide to move your money and put it elsewhere. So kune risk yokuthi misappropriate another mandling zokunikeza. So don't then sit in the corner and say, no, I'm not going to declare that. So in fact, I would even say, good business plan yako, please put those things and just all you have to do is to say, this is the way I believe that I'm going to get out of this situation. Then you've got the interest. So we've already mentioned the power of Google. A lot of the corporates, they announce their procurement opportunities through our websites, Wakona. You just need to understand what is my value proposition or my unique selling point. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm good at. I think I can make money from this, and then try and follow those corporates that are doing the same. Lastly, I think we are all actually entrepreneurs in some way or the other because we are always selling. Everybody's always selling. If I'm sitting and looking for a job, I'm selling my skills. So it's really about to put that in a way that the people on the other side, they understand it and they want to give you that opportunity. MC, I hope that helps, but I know it could still be a bit generic, irresponsible, but what I'm trying to encourage is information in corner, knowledge is there, it's scattered all over the show. You need to identify what is your unique selling proposition and look out for those corporates because I still stand by my point to funding in corner, but we're not putting our story across the right way.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, we have 8 minutes left of this panel. Remember, we still have 600 Rand, or it's 5. Give 5 for hey, man. 500. 5,000, 500. 500 to give away for our social media, hashtag EmpowaEntrepreneurs. The other hashtag is mentored, networked, skilled, funded. We're together. 500 Rand to give away. ABSA's still going to give away 30,000 Rand, so please don't leave. Like Baba and I believe you because they were not here yesterday. But Luto Iponela live, 30,000 Rand to still give away. So we have just 7 more minutes and then we wrap up the panel discussion. Questions, I'm only taking 2 questions. Does anybody have questions for our panel? Yes, man. Questions? Yes, my brother, please come to the front. We've got the 2. My sister, please come. My brother with the cap, please come to the front. Please can we bring the mic? Just for support, while they come on stage. Guys, my brother. Only 2 questions. Our panel will still be here. Sure, brother.
Dumelang. Lebitso la ka ke Daniel Mokwena. Aish. Ke rata se bontate ba se buang ka sheko, ba bua ka funding hore tjhelete a se bothata ya tholahala. So ne ke batla ho botsa potso e nngwe straightforward ho ntate wa ABSA ntate Mkhonza. Isn't that because yes. So sekgowa sa ka se ntumelle hore ka e botsa ka sekgowa puo eo. So my English is not on point. Ntate Mkhonza, o buile ka I think a soft loan or something. Or how something like securities. Ke kopa o e hlalose we qaqise hantle because most of us how bua ka soft loan a re tsebe hantle hore o bua ka eng. Maobane Dr. Linelani o buile ka di collateral. So we just want to know how apply for that soft loan. Ke se hlokahalang, ke se sa hlokahaleng. And secondly, I'm a farmer. I've identified a land, or I do have a land, Ibita, somebody else, and I was doing farming on a small scale. I'm doing it, I get it from hand to mouth. So I get a paperwork, I get a next, bank statement, I can a little 350 fair. I show you next. How can you, as ABSA, lean to Sena?
Good question, my brother. Skava. So this is a question I think we'll give the panel, the entire panel, an opportunity to answer the question. But let's please be brief, panel, so we can wrap it up. I'll take the second question, then we close it.
Greetings, family. Blessed. Yes, sir. My name is Senate, and that's my baptismal name. I prefer to use Senate, meaning the kindness of heaven. My question to Ubaba, Wasa ABSA, is that we are a registered small business. We are dealing with clothing. So I was asking if, since the ABSA is here, is it here to help? Okay. Sorry. Are you going to be able to help us to open a business account, and what should we bring? Give thanks.
Good question. Yes, sir. Over to you.
Ngazile uthi ngizoba set spotlight. But okay, so you must see me after the event, ne? Because I think your question, for your second part of the question, we are fortunate as ABSA that we deal with a lot of the big corporates. And Agri, we are very big on agriculture. So I think there's opportunities to link you up, Nalauma corporates. Once again, we understand your CV and your business proposition. So we definitely, I think part of our role is to help with the connecting the dots for you and support you. And maybe related to the question that my sister has asked.
Please, guys, we're nearly done. Please, let's respect our speaker.
We've got a number of people that are here from ABSA. So we're very happy to assist you with opening a business account. I actually think I saw you at the Business Evolve here. So it's a space that all the banks are playing in, where we are trying to reduce our cost with our bank accounts for small businesses. I mean, there's one called Business Zero, for example, where there isn't a charge for that account. But obviously, we don't want to open an account for you and then for 6 months, you're not moving funds or generating revenue. So we still need to understand the funding readiness, SIACO, as well as the business that you are in. And then the good question here, security, it's an interesting one. We enterprise and supply development, and unless the two cameras here have a different view, or they can end, because I think it's a very unique kind of product. Because generally, apply for a finance, people, they would look at risk, and then if they perceive you to be risky or they're not sure on a business model, usually interest rate and the more security that they want. So in your example, maybe not only just the land that you have, we might even ask for your house, your car, as security, because security as much as we want certainty about the future, our future is not certain. We know that today, the future is not certain. So if I want to know, okay, if what then? It's a fallback that all lenders normally use with, okay, but you can give me your car or your land. So that's what security works. So these soft loans, our corporates are in a position to take a bit more risk if because they are actually motivated in the Black Economic Empowerment codes to do that. The more they can make their loans soft, they know the more access that you'll have, because sometimes you don't have that security anyway, as I said. So yeah, it's to say security is just something as a fallback on, but normally you don't get that being asked of you. And then last point, it is ultimately about the financial inclusion because, whoever wrote the codes and maybe say, this more than I do, was the guys that wrote it, they were very smart in thinking of saying, we already know on day one, these businesses will not qualify for a finance if they just walk into an ABSA branch and they apply. Because abanayo leyo security, sometimes abanayo leyo equity or a deposit, bayazama ukuboleka imali kubomalume and what abanayo. So, and sometimes a credit record that you correct. So all of those things have already been accounted for, but the question still remains, what is your business case? Can we trust you as a jockey or the owner of the business to take your business far? Because if you can, we know what the impact to the community is bigger. So yeah, I hope I've answered a little bit, but I don't know if my colleagues here want to share anything on that.
Maybe if I can just add, I think the gentleman spoke about that he had when I think it's on a plus right? And you were doing that and you only have 350 in your bank account. I think hangata we try and always see how we can complain about things. And I'm gonna make this very practical, fella, so that we understand. So the reason why we always encourage bank statements and having a bank account is for a few things. One, to see if you have a bank account, are you selling this product that you're saying you're selling? Are you making the sales that 10,000 that you are now suddenly saying, oh, there are million? Are you making those sales? So, I'm selling 1,000, the cabbage is 1,000. Bank account too. Whether we register starting or not, we banking. It's the only way comfortable as a banker or a chelete is coming into the business. In other words, you are selling that thing. That's the first thing I'm comforting. The second thing I'm comforting is that how do you manage chelete as a business, right? A lot of times, I'll tell you what happens. You get those bank statements and then you get the 10,000 tikeni, rabona patetse tebugo le thabang, and then konka 5,000. How do I know as a financier, if I give you R1 million, you're gonna be very, very careful with how you use that R1 million to be able to grow your business and pay back my R1 million as a bank as well. And I think that's where we also fall short. These things and I cannot challenge. Are you faithful? Cut 10,000 so that R1 million can I see it come through? The last thing, about the financial statement, right? Whether audited or not, financial statements are done out of a principle at the bank statement. If you go do the financial statements now, first thing you will get the bank statement. It will give you confirmation of income and expense. And that's why running that bank account very strictly, your business, is important for us as entrepreneurs. And don't take it for granted. And you know, you must know that bank statement is important for everybody. But think wise, how are you going to do it? Are you going to pay yourself extra money this month and reduce it next month and write a note why we enter Jwalo? So that if the bank comes up like you can have evidence why we delay. I think we are being too hard on ourselves as well. Mari, 10,000 to swipe at the Savannah 500. Earlier. But I'm just making it practical on the things we see. Because if you do that, cut 10,000, or reka BM next week, cut off $1 million. And that's what, and that's why we want those things. And the last question, security and he touched on it on what security is. The first thing is that the banker hangat and I've started business with Atlas. It is very difficult because nix. You know, how you more security can. Security means hakufa 100 rand ke le bank. Ne ki batla tsaya ntlo ya hao for if you don't pay me 100 rand ka onka ntlo ya hao. Half the time, 90% of the time, ha rena tsona matlo ke start ke dula ko hae le mama le nkgono and I don't have that. And that's where you need to start working, start taking smaller business decisions. Maybe don't go for $1 million, go for 500,000 and then grow your business gradually. Development banks, body development bank, both SIDA, SIFA, Badieta. So look at those ones, but they are more understanding to security than other mainstream banks. And to be honest, I mean finance institutions. We as financiers fail our businesses at that element, but use development banks sometimes to try and do it. And I think it will be much easier for you. until you're at a bigger position.
Thank you so much, gents. Time is not on our side, unfortunately. I think the gentlemen are still here. And unfortunately, we have to wrap up this panel discussion and move on to the next item on the agenda. But we just want to say to Mr. Tumsani Mkoza, Mr. Mpo, Mushutle, Mr. Kamukhelo Mampani, and Kamukhelo Liteko, thank you so much for what you guys have shared today. I think what we need to do, because we are men of accountability, we need to have that discussion about those tenders. Not even tender itself, RFQ, the entire process, you know, on how we can practically help our entrepreneurs get the business so that they don't keep making the same mistake. But thank you so much for what you've shared. Please, Kupara Chapeling, our panel, a round of applause. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Sorry, there's a... please, can you come on to stage 4 for a picture? Come, gentlemen. Yeah. So don't forget, Sun International, access these opportunities. Sun International, the guys promised that if you apply for the ESD, though, you'll stay in the hotels for free.
We'll make a plan.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause. Thanks, Buffet. Avuyile from eGov. I think there's an eGov bus. Ellen Gamontle. Maybe some of you have seen it as you've gone outside. He's here to explain. Please let's put our hands together for Avuyile from eGov. Kopara Mshapeleng Matsoho.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Program Director. My warm greetings to the panel of ESD. Sanbonani, colleagues. Sanbonani. Siapila. Right. My name is Avuyile Tele. I'm from Gauteng Provincial Treasury. So Gauteng Provincial Treasury is situated at number 75 Fox Street, Marshalltown. But don't worry, all that information is written on the brochures. We have brochures by our bus outside. There's a bus near Ibona Ngaphandle. That bus is our bus from Gauteng Provincial Treasury. So what we do at Gauteng Provincial Treasury, I'm from supply chain management. Then within supply chain management, my unit is supplier development. So what do we develop? We develop suppliers by means of knowledge. We share the knowledge of how do you start business to suppliers, and we train them on how do you start up a business, how do you grow the business that you've always started, you know, and how do you then grow that business and make sure that it's aligned. By aligned, meaning it's compliant in all areas. You heard our panel from ESD talking about compliance. Compliance when you are responding to government opportunities. Government opportunities, what do I mean by saying that? I mean, because when you do a business with government, you do business in government in two ways. With government, RFQ, which is a request for quotation, and RFP, which is a request for proposal. Then a request for proposal is a tender. So we assist suppliers, meaning people who are doing business, to make sure that they know how to respond to those things and they are compliant, their documents are compliant. And we provide a training to them at our offices, number 75 Fox Street, Marshalltown, number 75 Fox, F-O-X Street, Marshalltown. Every Wednesday from 10 in the morning. From 10 in the morning, so we do that training. Our training is called Supplier Development Training. So we take you through the RFP, because like when you respond to the RFP document, meaning a tender document, there's section 1 and there's section 2, which is a price. So we take them through the section 1 and both section 2 and make sure that they understand. And we do that training with our sister department, Department of Economic Development. So they specialize in the local content. So what is local content? Local content is when you respond to a certain RFP, which is a tender. So the local content is the local content part on the tender. Like when you've got the tender that you will have to supply something that has got the local manufactured goods, like a couch or a mask. A mask is local manufactured. So when you respond to that RFP, you must know how to calculate the local content part of it. So we do that training in our offices. And SARS, because most of the people who are owning business are struggling with SARS issues, so we assist them. We call the colleagues from SARS and make sure that they benefit. As well as the Department of Labor. They assist with COIDA issues because some other people are in construction, so they struggle when it comes to COIDA and all the compliance documents. But ke, namhlanje sikhona la with my colleagues ngaphandle and with our boss, with the systems. So we assist people who are doing business to register on CSD on the database. What is CSD? CSD stands for Central Supplier Database. Was introduced by National Treasury 8 years ago. And the main purpose of introducing that database was for the people who are doing business to comply and check their compliance status on the database, meaning when you register on the database, you need to have one, your name, second, your surname, your cell phone number, your email address, then you will create the password to log on the CSD. So we will assist you to register on the CSD that I'm talking about, Central Supplier Database. Now, when you registered on CSD, Central Supplier Database, we will then register you on the GPG database. GPG stands for Gauteng Provincial Government Database. So the main purpose, again, of registering on the GPG database is for the purpose of the quotation that I was talking about. Now, when the departments procure, any department in Gauteng province, they check the companies on CSD and check the compliance of the companies on CSD. And then we go to GPG database that is on SAP systems and source the companies there and send the quotation to those companies. So the main purpose of registering there again is compliance. Ukuthi wena muntu own a business register, you must be able to check the compliance status of your company and make sure that your company is complying, and make sure that if you have a business, the core business, meaning what is it that your business is doing, must be clear when you're registering on CSD. Ukuthi you are in construction or any kind of the business that you are doing. So let's do like this. All this information that I'm talking about, we have it on our brochures. So when you come to our bus, I will give you the brochures about the business and the steps that you follow in case our systems are not functioning well, the steps that you follow to register on CSD. And it's easy to register on the GPG because we will take that CSD number, MAAA, uyi-emailele kimi, mina ngukukreatele the GPG vendor number, send it back to your email. So please, colleagues, the bus that is outside is only for people who are owning businesses, not to register the business from the beginning. Because you register the business from the beginning at CIPC. CIPC, you need to go to CIPC if you want to start up a business. But those who have registered business already at CIPC, you have those documents, you have your email address and your name and your surname and your cell phone number and bank confirmation letter, as well as tax information and BBBEE affidavit information. Will be able to assist you. Then if you don't have those things, please go to CIPC and seek this information on how do you start up a business and grow the business that you have. Thank you very much. Sanbonani.
Orange Farm, are you ready? Hey! 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 Oh no! Asungumene kancane and stretch. Everybody stand up! Everybody stand up! Everybody stand up! Everybody stand up! Sunguma. Hey! 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 yo, ay, yo, 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 ay, yo, 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 yo. Oh, no, no! Ay, yo, oh, no, no! I say, are you ready? Are you ready? Yay! Empower entrepreneurs, inspired, transformed, skilled. Whoa, yo, yo, yeah, yeah, yo, yeah, yo, yo, yeah, yo, yo. Ufuna yedwa ngizojiva naye bese sihlala phansi. Only one volunteer, I'll give you a bag. One volunteer. One volunteer. Oh, yeah, yeah. One volunteer. One volunteer. One. Say, oh, no, no. Oh, no, no. Orange Farm, are you ready? Amachidati Chovicho. Are you ready for money? Are you ready for money? For money more. For money more. For money more. For money more. Nefune mali for money more. Nefune mali for money more. Hello, yo, yo, yeah, yeah, yo, hello, yo, hello. Lalela, selector, Orange Farm. We are here to create entrepreneurs. If you know that this time, next year, uzobune mali phakamisa izandla. Angimazi umuntu ongakholwa. By this time, next year, uzobe ungenile kwibusiness. Say yebo. Say yebo. Hlukana nabangani abarong. Lalela. Hlukana nabangani abarong. If you are an eagle, ungahambi neenkukhu. Go with people abane vision. Tell your neighbor vision. Ungahambi ne-Uno kanti wena uyi-Mercedes. Hello. Hello somebody. Hey. Hello. Utshela umakhelwane wakho uthi I'm gonna be the next rich person. Well, no way. Wala la bolule. Well, yeah, oh no! Yay! La! Ngiyantanda as well. Hey, Kosyami as well. Tado longer.
1, 2. All right, Pastor, give me mic, man. So Shumaela lapha emuva. Yeah, he goes by the name of Pastor Barak. Asimshayeleni izandla man. Thank you so much, my man, for lifting up the energy. We're still together. We're still together. Galbona, some of you are sitting like Lanahano, okay. We've got our winners with us. My brother, yeah? This is one of the guys that won yesterday from the pitching competition, that won the 15,000 rand. The other guys was all Baka or Babalili. But they're still here. All right, 30,000 rand to still give away. Bago guy. Where are they? Mama kaole mama unshebilo kanti wan lebala. Pela lenna ki win. All right, next up we've got a keynote from Angelina Mudise, Regional Manager from CEDA. And this one is so important. Kopalam Mamelin, please listen. This one is so important. Because we sit here, and like, what are they looking for in businesses? Babatlang. So she's going to share with us what they're looking for in businesses so that when we go, Riba approach, whether it's for funding, it's business mentorship, but we need to know what those things are, right? So she's here to share that with us. She's just like, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for our keynote. Angelina Mudise, Regional Manager from CEDA. What are we looking for in businesses? Come on, let's show some love. Show some love. Show some love, Orange Farm.
Thank you so much. I'll get it from there. Yeah. Thank you. Good afternoon. How's everyone? Our Orange Farm. How's everyone? Awesome, awesome. This is my first time in Orange Farm, so give a honor that you guys are there. Thank you so much. My name is Angeline Tsepo Mudise, ATM if you forget it. I don't think anyone can forget ATM. It's got to do with money. I'm actually a business advisor at CEDA, at Joburg branch. I'm based at Joburg branch in Gauteng. So I'm not the regional manager. Okay, just to begin, I promise I won't be long. So I'm from CEDA. For many of you who don't know who CEDA is, just give you a brief background of who we are, what is it that we do before we get into the topic. We are the Small Enterprise Development Agency. We are an agency of the Department of Small Business Development. We're actually incorporated in December 2004. So we've been doing this for long. We do have the necessary skills to be able to assist small businesses. We were actually incorporated for implementing the mandate for government in terms of assisting small businesses in South Africa. Our vision is to be the center of excellence when it comes to enterprise development. And how do we intend to do this? By promoting, by developing, and also collaborating with other eco-partners within the space of enterprise development. The same thing that we're doing here today in terms of partnering with Empower to come and assist and tell you what is it that we do and how we can assist you guys as business, as small business. So at CEDA, we offer non-financial support. What do I mean? But over and above, we do have a grant that I'm going to tell you about that is up to the value of 1.2 million. So I'll... but you show that you want money. Pastor Mamma, who wants money for man? I didn't hear a lot of people vooming, but I heard you, so we'll talk more about that. So what are the services that we offer? There was a gentleman here who was part of the panelists. Most of the things that most funders are looking for. And now the problem or the challenges that they're facing is that most of their requirements, most of businesses do not have. Someone came and asked a question about if only just a bank account, how is ABSA willing to assist them? So some of the interventions that we offer actually are there to assist for facilitation in terms of access to funding. We might not be able to give you the actual funding, but we can give you all the documentation. We can assist you with compiling all the requirements for you to be able to access funding. Or we can put you in a better state for you to be able to access funding. So these are some of the interventions that we offer. Before you go out for funding, they will want financial projections. The gentleman told you here. He will want to know, if you get this money, how do you intend to spend it? What is it that you're going to do with this money? How do you table that? Because you need an accountant to be able to assist you with some of these things. That's where some of our interventions can come to play in terms of assisting you. So we can assist you with developing your business plan. And in many cases, you find someone who's a business planner right now. When I someone that you know, you can be in the same field, yeah, agriculture, but there's no one business plan that it's a fit-all for everyone. Each business plan is developed and tailor-made for the specific individual or specific company to address or speak about that specific enterprise or business. Because you only business, you are unique, right? So we can't give you a business plan. That's not how it works. You guys might be in the same space, but you're not addressing the same challenges, or you're not conducting business the same way. That's what makes you stand out as a business. Yes. So financial management implementation. All the bank statements. You need annual financial statements. We need to know how you were spending that money you were earning from sales. What were you doing? How were you doing that? What are the services that you're rendering? How are you rendering it? Are you making profit? We need to see that. We need a financial history of how you've been performing before you are funding. So those are some of the things that we can assist you with at CEDA. You come in, and our processes is, you come in at our offices. If you are at our offices, we also have a co-location at VUT. We are based there every Wednesday, Value University of Technology. Every Wednesday, we are based there, called the Innovation Hub. I don't know who knows the place? Yeah, you can find us there every Wednesday. We are based, unfortunately today we are here, so we are not there. So you come in as a client, you register with us as a client. After registering with us, we do an assessment on your business. Why do we need to do an assessment? We need to holistically find out what are the needs of the business. So this assessment, regardless of Nalo and Aragats and really in the same business, operating at the same area, but we need to know individually, so what is the needs of each business, and how can we address in assisting you? What intervention is relevant to assist you? Not every business that comes in necessarily needs funding, and I'm glad one of my colleagues addressed that. Not every business that comes in actually needs funding. There are certain stages that you still might be needing. You might be needing mentorship. We do offer those. You might be needing training, because here's the reality. Many businesses, you might be skilled in maybe planting or the agricultural business that you're in, but does not necessarily mean that you are skilled in running a business, right? So you need the support. You need to be trained in operating and running this business effectively. That's where we also come in. So that assessment will be able to identify all the needs that your business have, and we can be able to address them and assist you. Yeah, so we also offer mentorship. We also offer trainings, which are group settings or individual trainings. And some of the trainings are sector specific. For example, in agriculture, we might have a mentorship that is specifically just for people who are in agriculture, but also in agriculture, doing what in agriculture? Because there's many businesses within the agricultural space, right? Some might be in horticulture, some are in livestock. So the mentorships can also be differentiated into the separate individual sectors within one particular sector or industry. All right. We also offer, and again, very much important, marketing. Sorry. We also have exports. We also train and assist businesses in exporting. Agriculture is one space in which, in South Africa, we earn a lot of money holistically as an economy because of exporting that's taking place within the agricultural sector. So we also assist you and develop you to be able to be export ready so that you can start exporting your products even to outside of South Africa. Because that's the intention, right? You don't want to build your business only for South Africa. That's where we come in also and assist you. We also have trade exhibitions where you can exhibit your products, pop-up markets, either in South Africa as well as outside of South Africa. In fact, we have another export that's going to take place in Ghana in March that we're busy with right now. for people who are in agri-processing. So if you're in agri-processing, please register with us. Let us assist you. Let's do that assessment and see if you are possibly export ready, and you can be exhibiting your products next year, go Ghana. And that's opening markets for you. You want access to markets because you want to earn more. That's one of the stuff that we can offer you. Packaging, you find you are a manufacturer within the agricultural sector. You are manufacturing maybe feed. We can assist you with packaging your products. We can assist you with product testing. You need to test that product. Especially some of the products you're offering for people to eat. They need to know, maybe you're in agro-processing. They need to know that what you're giving your customers is good for them, right? Whatever it is that you're doing, we can assist you if you are manufacturing in that space. We can assist you with product testing as well. So we can pay up to 60,000 in terms of product testing. So you see, some of the things is not necessarily that you need money, but you need to be assisted with them. I think Khunzi was here earlier speaking about the challenges that he faced as a business. And some of them were exactly that. He's got a product, but it's not tested. As a result, it cannot go into the market. He can't sell it into the retail space. That's where we come in, where we assist him with product testing. We assist him with branding so that when he puts his gem next to someone else's gem, it's competitive. And you can go in and literally buy this gem, right? So we can assist you with those. And I said up to 60,000 in terms of product testing. 60,000, yes. HR policies, you find, or you are running a farm, you've got about 11 or 14 employees, but your employees are not registered. You don't have policies and procedures in place, but your employees can end up suing you because paperwork, there's no contracts in place. We can assist you with formalizing those. Okay, let's get to the main topic. Quality management as well. You're in agriculture, but you also have maybe you're processing some of your products. We can assist you with quality management. You won't be able to go into the retail space without your products being QMS, I guess. So we can assist with that. Okay, keynote for today. We're going to speak about what we're looking for in a business, specifically Runareli Seed. But before then, let me speak about the funding. We offer non-financial support in the sense that we don't fund, right? So what does it mean? We're not a financial institution. We don't, unlike your ABSAs, your SIFA, and we're mostly confused with SIFA. SIFA is our sister company. They do funding. We do enterprise development. That's why we are SEDA. And sometimes we're also confused with SETA. But SETA, different skill development. We are in enterprise development. So with the difference between us and them with this type of funding is that Rona, we issue it at a certain portion of time. Like in this particular year, it was open around June. Guys, this is very important. I hope you're really listening. We open it around June, and when we open it, June, we will tell you it's open for a certain period of time. Applicants must apply. It's a grant funding up to the value of 1.2 million. What does that mean? You don't pay it back. It's called TTA, it's Technology Transfer Assistance. Its main intention is to assist you to develop your technology. It buys machinery for you and all the other things that you need. If you're in agriculture, if you need maybe your drainage systems, exactly. It assists with that, and it's up to the value of 1.2 million. So please, 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 what I'm going to tell you here are the things that we're going to look at when these applications are sent in and when they are being evaluated. So please take a look. Okay. So the agricultural sector is very important. We all know this in South Africa. The contribution that it's making to our GDP is great. So just know that as an agriculture business, you are valued. And as CEDA, we also take value and pride in businesses that are operating in that space. It's been said, USAID said in May, I think 2020, they put out a report that 70% of rural population in Southern Africa depends on agriculture for their livelihood. So if it means in the whole of Africa, or sorry, Southern Africa, 70% of the population are depending on agriculture, agriculture is making a great contribution to our economies. And the trading economics is projecting that as from next year, The agriculture will be GDP from agriculture will grow to about 134,668 million. From a drop that we had because of COVID in the second quarter of this year. So it means the work that you're doing in the space that you're in is good. So you have an opportunity to grow this business and do even greater than what you're doing. And the support is out there, but you need to know what is out there so that you can benefit from it. Very important. Okay, so what are the things that we look for? Number one, we look for value proposition. What is it that you're doing? What makes you stand out? Just imagine, for example, you are making an application right now, and I think this is going to assist people who are going to be pitching after this. Please, when you're pitching, think of these things and put them in terms of your pitch. What makes you different? For example, let's say all of you are making that application right now, and only a certain number of people can be given that 1.2 million, right? What makes you stand out? You guys might be offering the same services, but what makes you stand out? That is your value proposition. How are you reaching your customers, you know? Why would I, as a client, leave the current supplier who's supplying me? Why would I choose you? What is the offering that you're bringing that is over and above what you're offering? Maybe your product in alle health benefits. You need to tell me that. You know, you need to demonstrate that. Why must I leave the other supplier and come to you? What are the benefits that I'm going to find in your product? What is your product solving? Any entrepreneur who is there today, they recognized a problem that is there, and then they went to address it. What is the problem that you're solving? As someone who's operating in the agriculture space, especially if you're in specifically food, number one, you're addressing hunger issue, right? Health benefits. We all know currently there's been food that we've been given that is not good for our health. We're seeing a lot of children are becoming obese, which is the numbers are increasing more than previously. That is why some brands or some retail stores are opting for organic, right? That is where you guys come. You need to demonstrate these things. You must tell me. That makes you stand out. Because if someone is selling fatty things and you're selling your product or with the price that you're selling at, it's also a health benefit for me. I'd rather choose you than someone who's gonna make me sick in the long run, right? So you need to demonstrate that. You're pitching. I think the gentleman from ABSA said, look at it as if you're applying for employment. The candidate who's going to be chosen is someone who can demonstrate what services they're going to be offering us. So with you as applying, it's also the same thing. Why must we choose you? What sets you apart from everyone else who's applying? Okay, technological innovation. What technology are you bringing? We're currently in the fourth industrial revolution. We can't be doing business the same way we used to be doing, unfortunately. You look at some farmers right now, they're using technological machinery. Baberekisa drone. So you needed to have security in one corner, but now you can use a drone. In their livestock, detector. If those cows are at any point, they can know where they are. He can just look at his phone and know, no man, they're not within the radius, and they can call and ask what's going on. There's two cows in the same radius. They've actually walked out of the radius. So what technological advances are you using? And you know, in many cases, we do use these, but we think we don't. Pulanzena heavily right now. What are you doing to store up that water right now for dry seasons that are ahead? You see, you're inventing something. It might not be, I've got this machine that puts in the water, but you might have a bucket or something out there that's storing that water so that you need it, it's dry season. You can then start irrigating using the very same water. Explain those to us. Let's see how, remember the fund in itself is to assist you with technology, right? how to make your life more efficient and easy in your business so that you can get more profits, right? So demonstrate those things, tell us. There is one of a client of Cedar who's in Limpopo. They've been in the agricultural space. In fact, they started firstly producing a particular product, and then they saw that they depend on people who are farming, so they'd rather go into farming themselves. And now they've developed also an app, so that even when they deliver the products to you, it's easy for you getting the products. So, you know, we're bringing technology everywhere within what we're doing. How can it assist you? What machinery is out there that can assist your business to make your business more efficient and to make you have more money? Environmental impact, very important. We cannot be farming the same way we were farming. We all know climate change. First off, we've been seeing there were a lot of rains, floods that took place in KZN. They had a great, there was disadvantages in terms of how the prices of food went up. COVID in itself, yes, played a role, but there's been many other factors. There's been places in South Africa, where we've had challenges in terms of drought for a long time. So when that happens, there's an impact in the agricultural sector. Also, over and above, how you're farming, how is it affecting the environment? You need to tell us. There are some people who are farming and they're using some chemicals, and those chemicals can be, in the long run, harming the soil. Are you using those chemicals? Or maybe you want to walk away from using those chemicals. You actually need the funding so that you can address that issue that those chemicals are actually harming your product. Or you've developed a new chemical yourself that actually assists in terms of the environment. And it's going to impact your environment positively. Right? And because of climate change, we're seeing drastic changes in our landscape, even in South Africa. And this is a global concern. It's not just for South Africa. It's a global concern. And it must be a more challenge or for our farmers. You know, in terms of where there's drought, what is it that you're doing? Are you not farming? What are you going to be doing? What other technology is out there that can assist you? How can you store up the water that we're getting now to be able to assist you in the long run? So if there's a technology that's there, or you want to implement something, this also can be of assistance for you. We need for you to address that. And you know, climate change is such a critical, it's so critical right now that in other countries, in fact, even South Africa is starting to do it. They're reporting about it even in their finances. For mining giants, even agricultural companies, giant agricultural companies that are big in South Africa, they're starting to report on that because there are benefits that you're also going to get in the long run from SARS. So you need to take care of the environment, not just for your business, but for also the future of South Africa as well. All right, so please also, we want to see that. We want to see how you address that as well. Capacity constraints, need, and this is where I actually want to take more of my time in speaking in. I'm also echoing the same words the gentlemen were saying earlier, that in many cases, because there's funding available, someone comes in and says, I want money, but they are unable to tell us or to demonstrate, why do you want the money? What is the constraint that is out there for you? What is it that the money is going to be used for? I'm going to make two examples, simple examples. Number one, I've got a client, say I have a client, or but I get my own tractor. So I'm always hiring someone else's tractor. From the revenue or the sales, let's say R1 of every sale, because I hire machinery, the tractor to this person. I buy 60 cents from every R1 in sales. So it means immediately if I the sales, 60 cents hire the equipment. So I'm only left with 40 cents to distribute within my company. But if lekan tekela muchini, that 60 cents mo company. So it's affecting my what? My net profit. La e tlhaloganya bagolo? That's how you demonstrate. That's number one. Number two, I have another constraint. Let's say ke rekisa morogo. I'm currently ke rekisetsa mo orange farm. Ke na le di shop tse 5 or 10 that's taking morogo wa ka mo orange farm. I've got a small piece of land. I've got another demand, maybe ko Valley. Le di shop tsa ko Valley di batla morogo wa ka. About 10 other shops ko Valley di batla morogo wa ka. But ha ke kgone ho ba fa because lefatshe la ka le lenyane, right? So it means ke tlhokang lefatshe le le tona. Right, bagolo? Are we still there? Ke tlhoka lefatshe le le tona, right? Because ke na le batho ba 10 ba bang ba batlang di shop tse ding tse 10 tse di batlang my product. So as a result, ka applyela funding gore ke kgone ho reka lefatshe le le tona. Le le tloetsang gore ke kgone go provide these 20 shops. Do you see it? I've outlined it. Ke na le di letters of intent tse di bontshang gore these people want to buy from me. I can provide it. So if Elena, le somebody o yalo o eleng gore wa tla ga iseng ka be a fame wa tsena fela re ke batlo nna le nna re batlo reka lefatshe lele, who are you most likely to give the funding to? O if a ofe ke mang a ilo e fanna? Guys, who's going to give it to me? Ke ma ilo e mphang? Ke batho ba bedi ba le nna ntse ke le ma di shop tsa 20 di batla lefatshe la ka ba bontsha gore nrekisa mphen tšhelete ke rekeng lefatshe le gore ke kgone go supply batho ba bedi di shop tsa 20. Then gona lo mongwe ene ga isa etse sepe wa tla fela le ena re o batla gore a fiwe tšhelete a reke lefatshe ro lefa ofe o berekang a kere why re lefa o berekang o na le product ya e fang batho and o na le experience, right? Wa itse gore go nna mariga o biala oh what if ka mariga o biala. And even if if nile tšhelete ke e busang ke loan ko Absa maybe, if ga ke kgone go patela ka ba maybe go tsaya sebaka gore ke feletse merogo ile gole ke bafe ba itse gore ba na le tse ba 10 ba already ba mphang tšhelete ke so bo kgone go gra tšhelete a bone fo and go na le evidence ke kgone ba bontsha gore ka bereka mara ole ene ga re shole gore o kgone o bereka. You see, that's why o tshwantse o tlhalose the needs tsa go. You must really show what is the constraint o nang le yone. Le tshwere ba go. That is very important. It's critical in any loan funding application or even in any grant funding application. Because ko bofelong ga gona gore gate ba botlhe ba lo e kry-a akere, so you must demonstrate e tlhalose ka botlalo. Remember, in many cases where it's an application o romela pampiri ga o gore o tlhalose ka e kry-a ke tshwantse ke e balo seo ke tshwantse ke kgone o bona so se bonang o tshwantse o kgone o rekisa so buang ka sone ke se bone wena o seo pele ke go bitse o tlo tlhalosa akere a re tlhaloseng bagolo. And then again, very most important, and se re se bonang gantsi se sa etsiwe, statutory compliance documents. You find specifically batho ba tlhaloseditse gore re fa di company tsena le tse batho ba operatanyana le ana re batla di pampiri tsena le tsena go ntse go le re fana o tswa treasury a re le tlo registera ko CSD akere wa itse gore ga o kgone go etsa business le government o sa registera mo CSD la itse ba go ke central supplier database ya mang ya government akere ya go bereka le di private sector o siame mara go batlo bereka le government o batlo supply government o tshwantse o registerile so o tla fela yalo o tlogela rolo sa registera maybe o bo re batlo supply government ga ona statutory compliance document wa bona gore ba go ntsha kae. So it's important to know gore ntho ya applylang ke di compliance tse fentse ba di batla and over and above mo sector yo operate mo yone go batla eng gape. Tla re tse example engwe ke e gape fa re o le go ntse o nna le famesong a reng o rekisa jam akere jam e etswang ya jewa akere and ne ke tlhalosa gore ga o manufacturer o tshwantse o etseng di product tsa go tshwantse di testiwe akere re ka e tsa re le babedi nne be ke lwala e be ke blame ene be ke mosua mara gana bopaki ba gore ka mpontsha gore nna ke le go ntse re le company so product ya rona e siame because re testile because gana so seo anyone can sue him. And because of that, retail stores di ka se batle go tsaya product ya. So it's important that we itse the requirements tse di tlhokegang mo producting yo e etsang or mo spacing so le mo sone, so that le go etsa application ha re lebella re okay motho a re ke private company ke etse dipampiri tsa a o patala lekgetho la ko SARS na ke ile o ntse pila o siame mo teng a ke re bagolo, because o ka se ka tla ko government mara o sa patele SARS or o sa nna pila ko SARS a re bueng nnete fo batho a ke re bagolo are baakanyeng dilo tseo pele di botlhokwa, they're very basic. Imagine o reject wa go te product a go ra e rata everything ra se rata mara ga ona tax clearance bagolo. And I said these things, if you need help, contact the relevant people, come to your cedar branches, let us help you. I get e wo busiwa go te ga ona tax clearance bagolo re le teng. Okay, so we've touched on compliance. If your compliance issues in many applications, you're going to apply to ABSA, you're going to apply to CIFA, to anywhere. If compliance is in order, those are the first things they look for by application. It's one of the job employment. O apply employment. O tsena go tere batla CV, ge CV seo. Re tswella re reng ba go. Go apply lo sa tsenya CV. Ba etsang ba e bela fala ke. That's the compliance. Financial projections, annual financial statements, re tlhoka go itse history ya go business ntse be reka yang. If ntse be reka. A ke re fa lo tlhalositse re no na le bank account o batla apply, maybe o na le di issues sang or o na le di bank statement, o na le di bank statements ntse be reka, but gana di financial statements. We can assist you with those, but that is very important because they want to know o tlhokomela tšhelete yang. O etsang ka di earnings tso di kry-ang. Ba tlhalositse earlier, if tšhelete e kry-ang o reka di savana ka yona 1.2 million le ga o e fiwe mo letsogong bagolo bo reka se o se tlhokang. So o tla ka di quotation o re ke etse ke batla reka motšhini o bone bo patela supplier o bo kry-a motšhini. It's to eliminate tsone dilo tse di yana that tšhelete o tsena mo accountong ya motho ga sa tlhole re mmona akere. Business e wele o no hirile batho ba le 7, maybe people were working. So financial statements, we can also assist you with those if we struggle. Financial projections, the business plan and the financial projections will be in either a business plan depending on the fund or a proposal. They need to know who's your target market. Competition, how are you different from that? That's where the value proposition comes into play. We're not different yang go bon. Yes, ntato ke di jeme tse ka tse le di itseng ba golo. Di dintse akere. Di dintse thata akere. Mara ke se se tsang jeme ya ntate go ntse gore e nne different. Yeah, what light. That's the good thing. So any product must be able to make that everlasting impression more, so that open away but like so it's the same thing, it's the same with yours. You must be able to tell us why the client why will people buy from you, and why if you feel this funding more sales are gonna come in. Capacity constraint this funding so that the sales are good. One other thing, and I think this is the last, I think in China very important. We see a lot of people based applications are funding. Ebebare ko stata ki hira batho ba le 20. Very good. I mean South Africa re na le devastation ya high unemployment rates. Re government re batla batho ba hiriwe. Well, we're in age, right? But here's the thing. Ga re tlhoke gore re batho ba le 20 fela, as that in itself means nothing. We're going to look at the sales that you're going to make. At the sales you already make, and no kono patala batho ba le 20 bo rongwa ba tlisa. Does it even make sense go tlisa batho ba le 20? Na kwa mo o kopa o batla motšhini o eleng gore o fetsa, let's make a typical example. Somebody o etsang bricklaying. Motšhini ole o etsang ka matsogo o tsa sebaka ke. O kgona etsa maybe only ka letsatsi o etsa maybe ditena di le less than 50, right? Mara motšhini ole, the automated machine can make close to 1,000 within a couple of minutes, right? So motšhini o le ka letsatsi o ka etsa di-order tse dintsi in a day. Mare di-order tseo o di etsa di ya kae? That's very important also. A o na le space tsa di-order tseo, I get? That's number one. Number two, motšhini o ga se no o tlisa, a sampe no need batho ba le 7 bo ntse o na le bona. Mare wena tlo bo re ko oketsa ka batho ba le 20 bile. Bo etsang batho ba le 20 ba batlang. You see the correlation. So those things you must be able to thoroughly address. Ga se gore re batla go bona fela gore o etsa employment. I do understand. But I think the main need when you started a business, was it to employ people only? O tsenetse mo kgwebong go hira batho fela. Fela. O tsenetse mo kgwebong for eng? Again, mar also o batla thusa batho ba bang. Yes, of course, very important. But let's see the correlation. As gore 20 ra khatlega, yes, ra go fa no. We will be able to see revenue yo oketsega ka bokana. A mme o kgona go hira batho ba bakana. Doesn't make business sense. In fact, motho o nna mo mathateng go feta ga nna a simolla ga ka etsa yalo. You see? Ba go lokile bogile thata kere. Okay, all right. Yeah, Rico Bram Park, but like I said, every single Wednesday, Ranale co-location more VUT. That could be maybe easy, but again, yes.
One, two.
How many of you have questions for her before she's atamai? I get la itse sida hore ba fitla mo ba le bolela hore tšhelete tengi applyangi ke kopa re nke 2 questions before atamai. Before she leaves, 2 questions. Run quickly to the front and ask your question. Matla private.
Hey. Anisbambe man. How? No, Zez, you said 2, look.
Mara why ningenza so? Mina mara why nithanda ungenza so phambi kwabantu ye? Why ningihlaza phambi kwabantu ye? And mina yazi I look out for you. Mara nina niyangithanda ukungiphoxa yazi bazalwane. Why ningenza so mara? Ngithe 2 mara. Ebona next time ngizothi mangithi ngiyanicelela bathi hayi labantu bakho bayahlupha. Ngicela 2 ngeke ahambe uzohlala lapha. Okay, akasitsamaya. Ari ko kwale ka ntle o hano tsamaya. O ska tsamaya ausi. Utli.
Dumela. And then regarding the financial projections, only startup business. How do you then provide the financial projection only a startup business?
Okay, just to understand, there's annual financial statements and financial projections. Financial projections, you are projecting the future. So what does it mean? Right? You are the owner of the business. And I think I asked this question earlier. Was Tomile business to make money? So on a product, you dumela moyone, you are not if you grab this funding, war ota product there, or regisa yang. So you would know that because quite now within your target market, first off, quite now within by who and how, right? So we're not on we anticipate what I say because if you are in business not to make money, then you're not in business. Your main intention is to make profit. That's why you are a profit-generating company. So you must know. Ke intenda gore tse ke batla di rekiswe yana le yana le yana le yana ene ke batla di rekisetsa bo mang le mang le mang le mang ene ke etsa gona nong ke etsa so le so gore ke di rekise ke batla feletsa di tsene into retail store but before ke simolla because of gona le di stringent procedures maybe go di isa ko you know those big retail stores ke batla starta ke di rekisa mo di shopong tse di local right ke batla hire 3 people ke ba re okay this jam ke 5 rand. But when I can register 6 rand, and then when I keep a rand, then mutuata my local I register. So I already know if each individual like 10 within a day, after 2 days, babu abardi fedile batsa happy. Already ki kono bona gore how am I selling? So ki tlhoka go hire more people. Gore ba di sell go di black and tse But ha ke khone because ke shorta the material ya go di etsa. Ke yone in strainang because immediately ke fetso register ke etsa tsona tse gape ka bafa ga ke na tšhelete enough for ke kgone go nna le stoko se sentsi so you would know you see from there so tsona le projections how you're projecting gona nong I'm selling 10 but I can be able to sell 50 if ne ke na le the relevant stock ke na le batho yeah
Sanibonani mina undodo wamfrikwabeni bengizocela ubuzusisi ATM ukuthi ma okay wawin or win a contract ye 5 years is mine for deliver Chrome ezohamba maybe ngegepe yibo ma China kanjalo so manje uthola ukuthi udinga isupport yokuthi uthole ama trucks ama house and trailer 34 tons. And then to okay, before kuvela ama COVID nama looting, bone excess yokuthi ngayithenga noma itrailer. But manje ngoba kukhona ama delaying process ukuthi bakubhadale back because looting la bantu la ebashiye bengena proof yama computer ukuthi abantu abalutile bathathe stock esingakanani so for ukuthi isasiriya ibhadala manje nawe uthola ama delaying process ngenxa yazo inkinga ukuthi manje u start le operation yabo uthi uzoyenza so manje so khona ukuthi manje ushode nangemali yosentrailer kodwa uwinile itender yokuthi icontract so shode nangemali yosentrailer so shode nangemali horse yeah one and mara basakulindile ngoba 5 years akakapheli wena ungakhona ukungisiza lapho
ke kupo botsa because I think ke go lositse nyana somewhere bane no ne kupo go botsa
okay
ke go lositse nyana somewhere isixhosa samasi kahle
okay ka bua Sesotho
oh okay yeah ke go lositse mo reng dilo di timetse ka because of looting go timetse eng pila
okay na ne ke na le di equipment e ke di rekileng
okay
tsa bo ma 30 ka grant tsa bo ma 30,000 so
ni pila because contract ke ya di truck o kry ile contract ya go deliver chrome akere
yes
okay
so akere jwale ke thola mosebetsi o ka contract with the ba bitsa a value ya hore ne ke etsa eng bona bang approve akere so and then my asa bang approve o tla dintho tsa bo maluting hore ke ska khona operator yani ya di mine explorer msebetsi so only to find out now ke struggle uthola horse and trailer yani ne ke le approved ka yona hore ke qhobeka msebetsi then so bana le delaying process that is why ke batla o tseba wena hore ka khona o funda ka truck na 1 million to for trucks 3 nyana And then Mamela. Mame, msebetio, o batla di traka tse o kadile ka o batla di traka tse 200 msebetio, o kadile o batla di traka tse 280 for the 6 province, for provinces tse 6. Wa thewa he o ya ka hore batho ba kena di trucks, ne? Wa batla 100 ya di trucks for 6 provinces.
Okay, but I think without a waste of time, remember CEDA, we don't do any form of funding, ne? But
Agur?
CEDA, hara fund, again.
Okay.
But reka go assist ka facilitation to access to funding. So you've got sister companies like Busifa, Bu IDC, NEF. IDC does big projects, but you've got your Bu NEF. We can assist you, provided you can refer that contract. Because here's the easiest, or not the easiest, but more weight to applying for funding. Even your APSA can be able to assist. But the deal is this. That contract, do you still have that contract in place? Because for araka traga, o tshwantse a enforce something that says motho o na le contract e ilo lastang dingwaga tse kana. So that haraka traga, even if wena o ka nna le mathata yang, o sampe o itshwareletse ka gore I can still take the truck and resell it. So contract, if you have that contract, we can be able to assist you, yes. As long as the people, because remember the contract, if how performing within a certain period of time, non-performance. So if we can validate, reputable, yes, contract is in place, then yes, we can assist you with business plan development and all the necessary things so that we can start facilitating CIFA and NEF so that you can...
Irrespective of checking whether I'm direct to the mines.
Okay,
No,
Baba.
but I think for the last time, I think just last response, important, the contract and the reputation of who is the person, the client. If it's the directly the mine, that's good. Mine not the contract there with something in place. But for the long period of time, I doubt that contract is still open and waiting just for you. Chances are mine is hiring someone else.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And we can continue this conversation a bit later.
The empowerment.
Thank you so much.
We can take it off.
Sanibonani! Ninjani! Abantu bamlaba! Ngiyanithanda yazi bantu abadala nabantu abancane. So before I say what I need to say, I have a very, very short video that I need to play for you. It's very, very short. Ngicela ningenze umuntu lapha emuva bandla, please. Ngale video yam a short, Empower Entrepreneurs.
Hi everybody, I'm Winnie Lamani. I attended Empower Youth Week in Orange Farm 2021, where I had an opportunity to pitch my fast food restaurant idea to the MEC, who then unlocked doors for me, who helped me meet up with people from GEP who helped me start my application to set up this restaurant. So I've opened recently, and I have 4 interviews for young people coming, because the importance for that is when they come in, they'll have people that are experienced, and that's where you have the betterment or the skills transfer. So when I attended Empower Youth Week, this place was just remote land. There was absolutely nothing here. So what Empower Youth has done or is doing for youth is that it brings people that can unlock doors for you. So we're going to set up a shop, an express supermarket. So we're taking this puzzle shop experience, we're elevating it to another level. And I think it's important for our youth to take advantage of that. This is our legacy. Our grandfathers ran them as puzzle shops. They're not in our hands anymore, but we can get them back if we do them right.
Winnie Lamani in the house! Winnie Lamani in the house! So there's a lady that was here that said she needs assistance with regards to projections and how to do the numbers and all of that. Winnie Lamani has offered herself to assist as far as that is concerned. So, remember what I said, Duguti, whenever you get into the elevator, remember to press G when you get into the elevator. Skupugen sonke, siben rich sonke. Speaking of being rich sonke, niyakhumbula ukuthi khona laba bangatholanga ama-forms izolo angithi. Others only got one form, others they didn't have the second form. So kuthiwa ngizonitshela ukuthi akhona ama-forms. If you didn't get a form yesterday, please do come and get a form. And umbali loyasisibeka sibhalisa izolo for pitch usakhona na today. Please find her. She will be able to assist you so that you can be able to do your pitch later this afternoon. Having said that, now my forms kumina ngizobe ngilapha emuva. Thank you so much.
Wow. Sanbonani. Sanbonani. Ninjan. Good stuff. Can I ask, please, if the technical team can quickly play a video of Empower Youth, and then ngizokhuluma for like 2 minutes. So right after mina, but in Malay stage, to kuluma, and then what I'll do is I'll direct the rows as because we're gonna accept only 2 rows. Then as you come out, X on your wristband, and then you'll get your food. You're able to chill outside. Okay, so technical, please just play that video for me. I'll then be 2 minutes after that.
Walk your journey in your own lane, at your own pace. The popcorn, they get at the same time, go panding, I pop at the same time. Mara, they are popper.
We will anchor and take care of the costs for the tents, the food, and everything that will make this happen.
Do you know how I know you received it before you got here? Because you told your mind, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm not coming back the same person.
And I've already spoken to the youth unit in the presidency. We must be part of the preparations for next year.
In 2020, during COVID, we became Edweek's top 100 fastest growing business in the world.
And I really appreciate the platforms and the engagement, and we're looking forward to partnering with you, because in you, we see not only the future of Orange Farm, but the future of the country.
And can you give me, out of these 5 young people that must go into ICT, I will give them bursaries.
The things that change our lives are not big things. They're the things that are right in front of you.
To migrate from being humankind to being kind humans.
I'm going to be forcing my officials talking to my colleague, Minister Nzimande, that a concrete program comes out of this place.
Then as young people, it's up to you to dream big and think about what opportunity is a particular threat creating for you.
The young people that know Orange Farm, we are not going to leave you behind. We are putting down money that's going to help you with digital skills. The committee, 1.4 million.
Empower Youth Transformation Program might just be its saving grace.
Empower Youth Week will hold a summit in Orange Farm, south of Johannesburg, to empower the youth.
EmpowerWorks is playing their role in ensuring that youth are not left behind.
We offer a range of financial as well as non-financial support to young people across, sectors that speak to development.
Thank you so much. So once again, my name is Dumi Leroux and I'm the head of Empower Youth, which is what you just saw now. I think it's really our pride and joy as Empower Works. We started here 8 years ago in this very hall as a one-day job summit, exposing young people to different sectors and industries. And last year, we then had it for a full week in this very hall. And this year, we went bigger and better, as you saw in the video, where we had 8 industry stages. And we hosted a number of speakers, 2,000 youth every day, and we were oversubscribed. I think some of the days we had to turn about 500 youth back because we couldn't accommodate, still COVID time. So again, we're coming back in 2023 in May, from the 22nd to the 28th of May. So it's next year in 2023, we're gonna be hosting 10 industry stages, focusing on different sectors to empower young people within these sectors. How do you get into the 4IR sector, entrepreneurship? We're talking about retail, health and wellness, transport. We're going to be talking about these sectors. How do you get in? What are the scarce skills that you can focus on as a young person? So please do make sure that you visit our website. You follow us on our social media pages so you can keep in the loop of when we're coming in and what we're doing. Now, one thing that I must tell you, the community of Orange Farm, is the fact that we've started replicating this project to other provinces. So, in October, we then went to the Limpopo area in Guyana, where we hosted an Empower Youth Weekend. So you must be very proud of yourself, because everyone wants this platform, but they can't have it, because you know why? It belongs right here. So we will replicate it, but in little pieces, activating this as the bigger event Orange Farm will remain our host city for Joburg. We will activate in other provinces for them to come back here and get a week-long experience. Okay, we love you guys, and please make sure that you register to attend for next year. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to do the food distribution there. I'm going to ask that one of the guys at the back to help me will take out from the front and then the row at the back. So the last row at the back, please stand. The first row here in the front, please stand. You'll then meet towards the door where you can then get your food. DJ, bring the music back.